We got us this team 2 with iFox on that team. Also got us as Revendare as BM, Chip as a Frost DK. We got Bummer as an Arcane, and Byron's as a Booming first up. And boom! Going up again? Is that what's going on here? Again, Outlaw Rogan? It looks like they actually send the bear back. Is the Druid going to be first up? Or maybe not. I think they're actually switching around. Looks like Revendare is going to be first up, hunting down the rogue. On this team, we got a slide switch up. Sylphin's still there. Maple's still there. Boom, getting caught out in the flare. We got ourselves Mjolnir, but also got Soul Paw. Soulscapes. Feral Druid, man. Soul Paw. I like Soul Paw. That's going to be Revendare actually going for that carrying setup. If I can only find where he's at. It's going to get some Rhino side onto Boom. Trying to see if he can hit him with a biting shot. Looks like he does get caught, but the Conquer shot is coming out for it. Taking out one of the Raptors, actually. Which one of the T-Rexes, rather? One of those things looks like a raptor. It's like a bird raptor thing. Freezing trap on a Boom. He does trick it out of it. Actually taking down one of the Beastmaster 100 pets. Reduces the damage greatly. He's going to have to go for a turtle revive pet. He actually, I feel like, outplayed the Beastmaster Hunter by taking down the pet behind the pillar. He actually did such a good job because for Revendare, that's just loss of damage. Does have a Void Elf reposition if he needs to. It's going to have small line of sight onto Boom, enough to hit him with a concussive shot. But it is just waiting out until then. Boom, getting hit with a stun. Now look at that good. These pets are actually doing quite a bit of damage. Sitting in that kill shot range very, very soon. Blinder to Revendare is going to get himself that sippy cup from the Kyrian by the looks of it. It looks like one of those pets is going to go down at some point or another. Revendare better have line of sight of the pets and get himself a pet man. Otherwise, it's a lot of your damage is going to be gone. Binding shot on one side, trying to kite Boom into it. That's going to be the Kyrian on the other. Boom is definitely going to get caught out in the middle. Doesn't really have an answer here. He does try to go for a big setup with those strikes. The pet does go down. Revendare, if he's not aware, he might need to get a pet up, but looks like he doesn't need to yet. He can just go for that kill shot. Oh my goodness. Beastmaster Hunter damage is so good. The consistency is so great. We'll have to wait until Revendare figures out his pet is missing. Boom did have himself the play. That was the play to take down the pet. That was actually the play. But it was rough, man. That's a rough one. Because by the time you're done with the pet, that thing has just bitten so much out of you. It is rough for certain. It is 100% rough. As an Outlaw in a 1v1, it is rough. By the way, our legend is for Outlaw getting buffed. So maybe we'll see more Outlaws. We got a pistol shot that'll do minimum 6k with green skin Lego. So imagine that as a crit. 6k baseline. That's a lot of damage for an Outlaw, suspect like Outlaw with no burst. Also, the fixing control is king. Finally. Rejoice! We'll actually be able to play it. It's our best Autotown. And it's been broken for years, it feels like. Revendare, though. Gonna be out versus Soul. Soul knows that the hunter's out here. The pet's actually on the other side. Leaping in with a freezing trap. Must have been expected. Scared Beast! Wait, does that is DR. That actually does not DR. He's going to have a body shot for it. He does power shift out of it pretty early. And that's going to be that teleport available with the... Wait, is he not able to move still? Looks like maybe there was a bit of a bug there. The Kyrian comes down. That's going to be Revendare getting free damage with the Soul Paw, who has to go for a wall here. Playing it super defensively right now. Does have a Petra, at least put some bleeds off of, and Revendare has that line of sight perfectly set up. But now Soul is on the prowl. That's going to be Maim, Dust Trick, and Stun Soul. And that's going to be Scarab Beast. Interrupt the Scarab Beast. Is that a nature interrupt? Is that a nature cast? What school spell are you locked out of when you get interrupted? Soul Paw getting hit with a freeze and trap. He's kind of low on health though. Another Scarab Beast just to see him even more. As Revendare getting those pets in. And the Scarab Beast doesn't break immediately. Those pets can get a couple autos in before it gets really bad. Soul Paw is going to be behind the pillar. Those Beastmaster pets really do put in effort. They're putting in work. They're putting in the numbers right now. Barset for Soul. As Revendare gets hit with a Maim. If only there was a Convoke available for that one. I saw the burst he was trying to do with Convoke. That was tough though, man. He had a trinket and it's not available for it. Kyrian set up for Revendare. Does have a nice juke. He'll position himself completely. Should have some line of sight. At least one of the pets is rooted. Soul Paw find himself kind of low in health though. Could be that kill shot. It looks like, oh, Revendare is just built differently. He's just on a whole nother level with that beast mastery. Those pets, what have you been feeding them? Or maybe that's the trick. You don't feed those pets anything. So then when they really go after the target, they go in with that ravenous frenzy. That was tough. That's a, I would have to say a pretty decent, at least a pretty decent Beastmaster Hunter. That is some damage right there. Maple, though, going to be up next as a Windwalker Monk. playing very similar to Boom, very similar to Soul, but I think the mobility is one thing Maple does have slightly ahead of. Well, look at these pets! They're just tearing into Maple. Fist of Fury just to parry the pets. Karma pretty early on. As you can say with a stun, might have not been a bad idea. Maple though might also have not the greater gear, guys, so that is something to consider here. As a monk, he did take a lot of damage from this pet, so it could be maybe a monk's lack of gear. Maybe I don't want to prejudge, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Just keep that in mind. Kyrian set up with the Maple, but that's going to be a leg sweep on the Hunter. Might have the big damage here. The images are doing quite a lot. That's going to be a stun on the pet as well. And Ravender needs to give himself some heals right now. Maple super low. Both of them are super low. It could be just a DPS race at this point. Ravender is super low. Does get a freezing chop on the Maple. Looks like that breaks it with a trinket. Body shot right after. Ravender is not in a great spot. Does get himself a heal. Barely any defenses left. Maple finds himself kind of low as well. Again, could be anyone's game. Zuwen comes in, but he's not hitting Ravender. Looks like the kill shots come out. Oh my goodness. Lack of gear, big damage anyway. Because he did do pretty big damage, because I know Soul's Feral is pretty geared. And now Boom, I'm pretty sure Boom's, most of his characters are fairly well geared. Not like insane 226, like Giga, 232 weapons for all of them, but majority of them have should have decent gear. Mjolnir gonna be up next. Can Ravender go for a 1v5? That's a Feral, that's not an easy class to beat as a Hunter. But Beastmaster is just different, man. It's not quite survival, it's just different. The consistent damage really goes through for this Void Elf, man. That's going to be the Kyrian. Mjolnir, unless he's sitting furthest away from that body for Kyrian setup, he's trying to avoid it as best as possible. It's literally like a Ring of Peace. It's a great zoning tool right now. But Mjolnir is still taking a bit of damage from all those pets, even though Byron's isn't able to really contribute to that damage. Mjolnir does find himself at half his health, and that's going to be Ravender. Did he take down Totem, or was that a grounding totem trying to ground a Cobra shot? I'm pretty sure it wasn't a grounding totem trying to ground a Cobra shot, was it? Mjolnir, though, finds himself in a situation where he just has to go for the heals with a binding shot. Does pop a wall for it, though. And Ravender trying to pull his pets back, trying to give a bit of a heal. Door of Shadows coming in, as it looks like Mjolnir might be able to go for a big setup. Sylphid might be going up next year, or maybe he's going to have to wait a little bit longer before Mjolnir goes in, maybe for a pop-off. Find himself again low. Maelstrom still available. We are only at 7 minutes of the game, 16% dampening, so still a lot of healing is up. And Mjolnir pushing in for Ravender. Ravender doesn't really have a lot of defenses. Does go for a Kyrian Sippy Cup. Mjolnir finds the Hunter super low health. Trying to cut him as best as he can. Getting a little bit of health increase here. It's going to be that Kyrian setup. Mjolnir pushing in. Might go for the big damage. Healing Surge coming out. Kill shot comes in. And Ravender finds himself with full health. Okay, he has to be playing the Kyrian Sippy Cup that gives you healing over time. There's no way he isn't. Both Hunters throw down a flare. It looks like Sylphid was found out. At least his pet was. Yeah, this Survival Hunter was definitely found out. Does Ravender pull off the big play here, boys? Does he go in? Does he go for the big bucks? Does he win it all? Trying to go for binding shot on Sylphid. He can't disengage out of it. Actually going to go for a Master's Call. Trying to get aggressive with Ravender. Making sure that he can hit the Hunter before the pets really connect. Stun to Sylphid is going to trigger that a little late. Stun back into Ravender. No trigger available for the Beastmaster Hunter. The Kyrian comes down for Sylphid. Trying to make some damage happen. But looks like the pets for Ravender are just doing work. Even though Sylphid is the one bursting. The Hunter, oh my goodness. Ravender. Beastmaster Hunter. I think potentially, I could be wrong, but I think that's the first 1v5 for a BM Hunter, boys. Oh my god, this man is a monster. Oh my goodness. Ravender. That was nutty.